Hello. Today's stories comes from r/Am I the A-hole? We've got 3 stories. First up, am I the a-hole for setting a glitter trap to catch my mother-in-law trying to snoop? For some weird reason, my mother-in-law really wants to go into our bedroom whenever she comes over. On one occasion, I followed her as she went upstairs. I was going to get something for my child as the bedrooms are upstairs. And she walked past the bathroom on the main floor and up the stairs behind it. She didn't hear me, and I caught her walking straight into my room and rifling through bills on my dresser. She denied snooping, even though I'd just watched her do it, and said she was just going to use our bathroom because she couldn't find the other ones. She walked right past the one on the main floor and another one in the upstairs hallway to go into our bedroom. Since that happened, I installed an exterior doorknob that requires a key on our bedroom door and one on the door to our office/spare room. However, she's still always forgetting where the bathroom is and trying the bedroom and office door. This really ticks me off. My husband says that I just get annoyed at this because everything she does drives me crazy, and since we've put locks on the rooms we don't want her in, there isn't really a problem anymore. Well, over the holidays, we had my in-laws over for dinner, and before they came, I was searching for the bedroom keys. We hadn't used them in a while, since we only lock the doors when mother-in-law comes over. My husband told me we didn't need to lock the doors since she wouldn't try to get into the rooms, and I insisted that she would, because she loves to snoop. We went back and forth and decided to cover the doorknobs in super fine glitter to see if she tried them. I did this once before when husband didn't believe me about the snooping to prove she'd been in the rooms. Last time she ignored the glitter and we didn't say anything about it, but then my husband couldn't deny that she tried to snoop. So this time I covered the knobs in glitter and for the office went a touch further and rigged a little folder of glitter over the door to the office before the in-laws came over. I left it one side unlocked, French doors, and it was set so if you walked in the room, you would get covered in glitter. Husband goes out of his way to show his mom the main floor bathroom when they got here and specifically asks his parents and sister not to go upstairs. There's a baby gate, so the kids can't get upstairs either. Well, guess who had to go to the bathroom and got covered in glitter and had it all over their hands and hair? She completely lost it and started screaming at me, so I yelled back, and now my husband is saying I went too far, and I'm the a-hole. Mother-in-law also says I'm the a-hole, but sister-in-law says I didn't do anything wrong, and mother-in-law deserved it for snooping. Father-in-law is Switzerland. Apparently, her car is ruined now too because it's covered in glitter. She can't get cleaned up. So am I the a-hole? I can't believe this blew up, and I wanted to say thank you for all the support and the awards. My husband woke up and found this post, and I think the comments have been an eye-opener. We are going to start couples therapy in January, so I think that will be great for us. I will be ordering some cellulose glitter that is biodegradable and safer for future projects. And if she comes over again, I will set up a camera, or at least print out some fun fake documents so if she snoops again, she can at least find something interesting. I love this story. She's probably one of those people that really hates glitter, which makes it even better. Now for some comments from others before we move on to the next story. Not the a-hole. Your mother-in-law is an issue, but the fact that your husband refuses to set and enforce boundaries with her is actually the larger issue here. Bad idea. When cornered, mothers-in-law will not take very long to go feral. After 10 minutes, they begin to mark the area, often with live, laugh, love, or bless this mess style wall hangings. After 20, they begin to tidy by moving your stuff around to places you'd never put them, all in the name of convenience. By 30 minutes, they've gnawed through the walls and are in the body of the house, at which point you're screwed and need to hire a removal expert who will lay down humane traps baited with Maeve-Binchy novels or photos of your more successful cousins. Absolutely not the a-hole. That is hysterical. You are my goddamn hero. I totally agree. I love the GlitterBomb inspiration. It reminds me of all those porch pirate YouTube videos. She just pissed for getting caught sparkle-handed. You know what they say, play stupid games, win shiny prizes that you can't get out of your upholstery. And now for our second story. Am I the a-hole for giving my mother-in-law a fake copy of my house key and exposing her on Christmas dinner? I want to preface this by saying that I, female 34, married my husband, male 37, a year ago. His mom is snoopy and annoying as F. She can't help it, that is just how she is, as my dear in-laws say. My husband and I purchased a new house recently. My mother-in-law kept pushing to get an emergency key. She promised that she'd only use it in an emergency, but given the fact that she had an emergency key to our old apartment and walked in on us, being intimate twice, but my husband didn't think it was a big deal, I just couldn't trust her. So I just sent her a fake key after she kept pushing, and she had a smug look on her face after I hand-delivered it to her. Days gone by, and on Christmas dinner, mother-in-law angrily called me out on the fact I gave her a fake copy of the house key. She shamed me for doing this in front of everyone, but in my defense, I asked her how she found out, and she said days ago when she came over at 4 while my husband and I were out, I reminded her, didn't you promise you wouldn't use it unless there's an emergency? So you tried to get in when there was no emergency and you broke the promise you made to us? She looked red in the face, and the other family started staring, and some even laughed at her for the face she made. She suddenly got up from her seat and rushed into the kitchen where she had a huge meltdown, so loud the next door neighbors must have heard. Literally, I've never heard a 60-plus-year-old woman throw a tantrum like that. Needless to say, dinner went awkward, and my husband and his sister were giving me looks. My husband went off on me in the car and said I lied and manipulated and humiliated and exposed his mom, and said he wouldn't have let me get away with it had he known. We had an argument, and he is demanding I apologize to his mom for my childish behavior and for ruining Christmas dinner for the whole family. Am I the a-hole? So this went off unexpectedly, and I thought I'd show my husband some pretty helpful comments I found here minutes ago, but he got mad at me when he saw it and said I was nuts to talk about his family online. He demanded my phone so he could delete it, but I refused, and I went upstairs and into the bedroom. Never seen him so agitated, and I didn't think he'd react like that, honestly. But thank you guys for your support. It really means so much. I'll update if I can. Thanks again. Definitely not the a-hole. Husband's just pissed because his mom was exposed and now he doesn't know what to do. Such a mom's boy. And now for some comments from others before we move on to the third and final story. Not the a-hole. I'd rethink my marriage if my husband put his mother over me. Yeah, this needs to be dealt with before they have kids, because it will only get more and more out of hand, and you don't want her having meltdowns in front of the kids. Not the a-hole. But your husband seems to have no problem with you being humiliated and shamed in front of people. He seems to have no regard to your need of privacy and dignity. Yeah, he seems to be completely ignoring the fact that his mother was trying to humiliate OP in front of everyone first. Honestly, his mother wouldn't even have been exposed in front of the family at Christmas if his mother had brought up the issue with the key to OP privately and not at dinner. Not the a-hole. 1. You never owed her a key. 2. She proved she isn't trustworthy. 3. She's the one who decided to bring it up in front of other people, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. 4. Who is childish? A kid 1/10 of her age would have been embarrassed throwing tantrums like that. And 5. Your husband is an a-hole for not 100% having your back. He should never allow his family to cause a single problem for you, and definitely shouldn't expect you to be a doormat to his just no mom. Do not apologize. Demand an apology from your mother-in-law and this useless husband of yours. And last up, am I the a-hole for hiding from my mother-in-law and pretending not to be home? I, 32-year-old female, had a baby 8 weeks ago, and since then, my mother-in-law has had a habit of popping by without calling first. I have anxiety at the best of times, but it's a bit worse right now, and when she comes over, particularly when my husband is at work and not there to mediate, I find her constant stream of advice and thinly veiled criticism, example, looking intently at the floor while saying, "You must not have a vacuum cleaner. I'll bring one next time I'm over," to be just too much to handle. Both my husband and I have asked that she call before coming over, but she brushes it off, saying that family shouldn't have to call. Last week, I was having a rough day and was tired as the baby had been up in the night more than usual. I looked out the bedroom window to see my mother-in-law walking through the front gate, and I honestly wanted to cry. I'm not proud of it, but I sat on the floor of the bedroom, ignoring the doorbell until she went away. I felt really bad after because she doesn't drive, and I knew it would have taken her a 20-minute bus ride to get to our house just to have to turn around and go back. Apparently, she called my husband at work to let him know that she tried to visit me because he called home to see if everything was okay, and I told him she must have come while I was out with the baby for a walk because I didn't want to admit that I had hidden from his mother. That evening, when he got home, he noticed that the baby stroller was in the corner with a diaper bag in it, as he'd left it the previous day, so he figured out I hadn't taken the baby for a walk after all. I admitted that I hadn't answered the door for his mom even though I was home, and he said that he knows she can be difficult, but that it was still an a-hole move to make her spend 40 minutes on transit to not even see me or her grandchild. He brought it up a couple times over the holidays, just to me, he didn't tell her, and now I feel like maybe I did something really awful. I'll bet she calls before she leaves next time. And now for a few comments before we wrap up. Not the a-hole. She has to call before coming. The fact that she sat in the bus for 40 minutes without seeing her grandchild is her own problem. Yes, mother-in-law brought it on herself by not informing an upcoming visit. Too bad. Asking, not informing. OP's significant other is wrong because OP didn't make her spend 40 minutes. She decided to gamble her 40 minutes. OP didn't make anyone do shit. He's also an a-hole for not creating boundaries with his mother when she's clearly making his tired, new mom wife uncomfortable. Not the a-hole. It's extremely rude to keep stopping by without asking. You should come to her house at a very bad time for her, like very early morning or while she's busy, and say that family shouldn't have to call to come over. Does your husband help with the baby at night? OP. Thank you. He does sometimes, but we agreed that since I'm on maternity leave, I'm in Canada, so I get a year off, and he's still working, I will handle the majority of the wake-ups. When we had a really bad week, the baby had colic, he handled the wake-ups until midnight so I could get a few hours of sleep. If you've enjoyed the story and would like to hear more, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Thanks, and bye for now.